Hello to Dr. Tina and everyone who is watching this e-portfolio presentation video. My name is Yuan Feng with metric number 203127. Today I'm going to present the ECH3602 Safety and Risk Assessment Assignment 1 Major Disaster, which is the incident of 2015 Tianjin explosion. Let me start my presentation with the background of this issue. So the background start as the company, which is High Logistics, they handles the hazardous chemical within the port of Tianjin, such as flammable and corrosive substance, oxidizing agent, and toxic chemicals. On 12 August of 2015, the explosion occurred at a container storage station in the Binhai New area of Tianjin, China. The first two explosions occurred within 30 seconds of each other, while the second explosion was far larger and involved the detonation of about 800 tons of ammonium nitrate. The fires continued to burn uncontrolled, resulting in 8 additional explosions on 15 August. The casual report of this issue was 173 deaths, 8 missing, and 798 non-fatal injuries. There is a lot of hazards in the incident. Firstly, there are material hazard and process hazard. The nitrocellulose in this issue has a high risk of explosion when exposed to heat, flame, sparks or electrostatic discharges, and it is highly flammable. Besides that, there is ammonium nitrate in this incident too, which the ammonium nitrate has a high risk of fire and explosion on confinement and exposure to high temperatures or when contaminated with other materials. There is also energy hazard in this major disaster. So the first one is chemical energy, because there is highly flammable nitrocellulose and ammonium nitrate. Secondly, there is thermal energy hazard, which is high temperature container. So the anatomy of the incident is started at the hazard, which contain the highly flammable and explosive nitrocellulose and ammonium nitrate. It causes by the overheat of container, which the dry nitrocellulose is contained inside the container. The deviation of the temperature and pressure in the container increase, which destroy the container and causes the spread of fire. There is a loss event in this major disaster, which is the explosion of 111 kinds of substance in the warehouse of High company. The impact of this incident causes 173 deaths, 8 missing, and 798 non-fatal injuries. The contributing factors for this incident are the hazard identification, emergency response or spill control, training, protective system, and material handling. For the hazard identification, there is no formal hazard identification process was carried out by the workers. Besides the emergency response or spill control, in this incident, they don't have the alarm system when the fire occurred, and the evacuation route is poor. There is lack of training of the staff regarding the hazard identification too. Also, there is a lack of heat detector system. So when the nitrocellulose start to burn, there is no detection in this system. Lastly, there is the rough handling of highly flammable and explosive chemical. The action taken by the government after the incident happened, which is the first one, emergency response. They immediately closed the two outflow pipes under the main accident area to prevent the pollution to the surrounding environment. Besides, they used foam, dry sand, and dry powder to control and prevent flames in accordance with the different physical and chemical properties of the hazardous chemicals. They also use air, water, and they also clean the air, water, and soil environment in the center and the surrounding areas of the accident. So there is also the investigation started by the government of China. There is 49 government officials and warehouse executives and staff sentenced jail due to the circumvent of the safety rules that led to the disaster. To prevent happening in the future of this kind of incidents, there is some prevention we could do. Firstly is the effective operator training. Each operator must be well trained to avoid any mistake that can lead to explosion. Besides, there is housing appropriate distance away. The safety regulation requiring that public buildings and facilities should be at least 1 kilometer away. Third, there is the heat detection and emergency isolation. The heat detection must be installed in the container and emergency isolation of the chemicals when the chemicals start to burn or the temperature is increasing. Lastly, the safety management system. The port safety management system should be further rationalized, and they should strengthen the safety supervision and prevent the lack of control of the drain pipes. Lastly, the public perceptions toward the disaster. First, it became crucial for the government to take actions quickly and effectively regarding this disaster. Government from several agencies and ministries addressed the multiple demands and tasks of community relief and reconstruction. Second, the public also actively donated and participated in the rescue efforts. Third, appropriate preventive measures were carried out to deal with the environment pollution and prevent it from expanding. The impact on the atmospheric environment has been eliminated. Lastly, the contaminated surface water has been disposed effectively. The soil and the groundwater in the central area of the accident also being disposed and repaired. In conclusion, we learned that we should not expect when a major disaster will occur. So we should always ready ourselves up with the knowledge of safety and risk. Besides that, from this incident, I learned that we should not circumvent the safety rules as it will lead to the disaster occur. Thank you, everyone.